You ain't got much long. You got much. I know. I'm gonna give you time to sit down. How you doing?
6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Secretary, how you doing?
You ready, Ms. Brown? Put my glasses on so I can make sure I see. It is now 6 o'clock p.m. The chair will call this August the 20th, 2024 regular call board meeting to order. Madam Clerk, has the public been duly notified? And I do confirm a quorum. Chair will ask for a motion to go into executive session. Would probably be personnel matters.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for personnel matters.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis to go into executive session for personnel matters. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. We will go into executive session for personnel matters. I promise you it won't be long. I don't think it's going to take that long. So we'll be right back. All right, bud? time, Chair will ask for a motion to come out of executive session. No action taken.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we exit executive session, no action taken.
Second such motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris. Come out of executive session, no action taken. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Amen. I would just like at this time to welcome everyone to our August the 20th board meeting. I've said this a million times and I'll say it again. Thank you. The ones out there watching us, streaming live, all our folks that's in this district, we thank you so much for supporting the school district. And, it takes a village. You think that what you do is not important. It's very important. And so I just wanted to welcome everyone. This time we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. Mr. Stevens.
Please stand. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Come in.
No.
Preach it, Messenger.
At this time, we would ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Ms. Green to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. Thank you, 7-0. Ms. Brown. Public comment. Is there any public comment, Mr. Stevens?
No.
All right. Thank you. At this time, we would like to recognitions and presentation. Dr. Avery? All right, Dr. Avery.
Good evening, Chairman Miller, members of the board, Dr. Hemingway. Tonight, you will receive an overview of the REAP grant, which stands for Rewarding Educator Achievement and Performance. This is a collaborative grant in partnership with the Center of Excellence for Educator Preparation and Innovation in collaboration with Voorhees University. Tonight, we have the REAP team, and they're going to come forward and share with you an overview of this REAP grant. And before they come forward, I wanted to share with you that this grant affords us the opportunity to get access to over $26.7 million that will help support over 850 teachers and nearly 11,000 students across 26 schools in both Fairfield and Georgetown School District over a 3-year period. And they will come forward along with the director, Alicia Truesdale Cotton, along with her team.
Well, good evening, everybody. How are y'all?
Good evening.
So I am Alicia Truesdale Cotton, the director of the REAP program and the associate director of the Center of Excellence for Educator Preparation and Innovation at Voorhees University. I have my team here with me. I am going to allow them an opportunity to introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the presentation. I'll start with Ms. Dr. Wolf.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Superintendent Hemingway, distinguished board members. My name is Dr. Cynthia Wolf, and I am the Professional Learning Manager for the REAP program.
Good evening. My name is Carla Adams, and I'm the Professional Learning Coordinator for the REAP program. Nice to see you.
Good evening.
Good evening. I am Natasha Grigg. I am the REAP Improvement Specialist for the wonderful Fairfield County School District.
Hi, everybody. I am Nikita Marlin, and I am the REAP Improvement Specialist for Georgetown County.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Danietta Queen.
I am the Outreach and Retention Coordinator for the REAP program. It's good to be here.
Great, great, awesome.
So we'll just have an agenda, and we'll flow with the agenda. We'll move a little quickly because we don't want to belabor this, and we want you all to have an enjoyable evening. I want to get out of here really quickly, so we'll run through this real fast. We've already done our welcome and introductions. We'll have a brief overview of the project. We'll talk about the framework, talk about our PD partners, go over the growth tracks, career ladders, and supports, the pay, which everybody's always interested in, the contact flow, and just some questions that we get frequently. So you've already met most of the team. Some of the team is not here with us. I can't stand behind this thing. Are y'all okay with me moving around? I'm a teacher at heart and I need to move. Can I take it with me? Great. So you have met the majority of our team. The only few people that are not here are our administrative assistant, Mrs. Tisha Davis. We also have a new administrative assistant. Her name is Angel Combs. Our finance person, who is all about the money and everybody wants to know her name, Elizabeth Davis. And our authorized representative, also known as the CEO of our institution, Dr. Demara Hightower Mitchell. So, REAP. REAP essentially was an idea that was thought up by our CEO and the wonderful superintendents of both Georgetown and Fairfield counties. They had the idea that educators are already working hard, right? And we want to reward them for some of those things, give them a little extra. Now, we know that Fairfield County believes in taking care of their educators, but they decided to give them a little bit more. So, with the performance-based compensation with REAP, we provide a sign-on bonus as well as money towards doing what they already do. No extras, just some professional development along with a few other things to enhance the toolkit that they already have. As Dr. Avery already told us, it's a 3-year grant, and essentially it's to not improve because you're already doing a great job, on the quality of education, evaluate the effectiveness of educators, raise student achievement, and increase equity in learning. And I'd like to say that Fairfield was instrumental in creating a effectiveness formula in collaboration with Georgetown and the center that is very equitable for all educators, and you'll hear a little bit about that later.
Once again, good afternoon. I'm going to cover very briefly the REAP project framework for educator quality support, and this is pretty much our guiding practices. We will be working with your administrators and teachers and other educators. We believe in the REAP program, everyone is an educator that works in your system. Whether they're a bus driver, a custodian, a cafeteria worker, they all play a value part. So they are educators as well. And so the REAP program will include those persons as well. We will provide professional growth tracks, and that will be based on the educators' evaluations. We will also provide equity in teaching and learning. That's equal opportunity across the board. Principal network, which will improve educator effectiveness. Now, many grants that come along that the board members I know have been involved with in your district, it usually concentrates on teachers, but they've been missing another very important aspect, and that's your principals. Who are your instructional leaders of your buildings? So this particular grant will also include your principals. Instructional coaching. You will hear a little bit more about that from my colleague, Ms. Carla Adams, but we will provide instructional support. Again, support is the key word. We will work in collaboration with the great things that you're already doing in this district to help move the needle for your students. New teacher network. We just met with Ms. Davis today, and I will tell you, board members, your district level members, your superintendent, Dr. Avery, Dr. Simpson, Ms. Davis has been very instrumental in helping move this project along. We will have new teacher networking. It's multi-year support for your new teachers, brand new coming to the area of professional teaching, as well as coming to your school district. Career ladders is another component that you don't see a lot with grants. We're giving other educators within your district an opportunity to grow, to do things that they're already doing, again, in the buildings, but also to help move the needle in the buildings for your students, and they get a stipend to do so. So you're just not asking them to do work without pay. And we know how important that is. And also, last but certainly not least, professional development. We will work hand in hand with the district in providing research-based professional development that a lot of times small rural schools just simply can't afford. Well, the project has paid for this professional development to work, again, hand in hand with what you're already doing for your educators in the district. Our PD partners, again, are research-proven PD partners. And again, we'll start off with Darwin. I gotta listen. I'll be 55 in September. So even the glasses don't work sometimes. So I'm moving a little closer, so please excuse me. Darren Curry is a partner with us, and they will work exclusively with your district level leadership as well as your building level leaders. National Board Certification. How wonderful it is to have National Board Certified teachers in your districts. And not only, you all just went through, what, Cognia? Does Superintendent Hemingway, does that not look good to have National Board Certified teachers? Well, guess what? The project will pay and support those teachers in becoming National Board Certified. The National SAM Innovation Project, you had two of your outstanding principals, Principal Tracy, is it Scoley? Swaley, and I'm sorry, we've been working with them, we're on first name basis. Brandon, those two just went through that training, and we're hoping more of your principals go through that training, but again, that's geared towards your building level administrators. National Equity Project, that is across the board. Every educator can participate. CASEL is the godfather for social emotional learning. Again, across the board. All of our children, every educator can benefit from such. And the Reading League. If a child can't read, they can't do anything. So this is another research-proven professional development that we will provide. Now again, it's across the board, but it's specifically catered towards pre-K through 3rd grade. Again, they need to be able to read by the time they're at the 3rd grade level. So these are the professional development opportunities that the project will pay for your educators. Last but certainly not least, from my slides, your administrators I mentioned before, again, Darren Curry, your district level administrators and your building level administrators, and we have national board up there. Sometimes your principals decide that I've done administration for long enough, I may want to go back in the classroom. So we will give them that opportunity to become National Board Certified if they decide to do that. And it happens. National SAM Innovation Project, again, for your building level administrators, and the Carnegie Foundation. This is improvement science, and this is a way problem practice, a way that your administrators and teachers can solve problems within their buildings without it before it becomes a major issue. Coming up with solutions, research-proven solutions to move the needles for your students. So again, this is offered through the project. We're not here to sell anything. We're giving. And we want to make a difference for all of the children in the state of South Carolina, and for starting with this district and Georgetown District. And this is exactly what we're going to do in collaboration with your superintendent and you, board members, and your educators. Thank you.
Oh, good evening again. And Cynthia has already mentioned the career ladders. I'm going to talk to you about the growth tracks as well as the career ladders. So we have 4 growth tracks: the initial professional development, the ongoing professional development, the professional development, track 3 for experienced educators, and track 4, the professional development for the experienced educators. The only difference between the 4 tracks is that for track 1, because it's initial professional development, that's for your educators with less than 3 years of experience. They do not get the opportunity to do the national board until they have more experience. That's the only difference. Everything else is offered across the board. National Equity, the CASEL, the Reading League, Carnegie, micro-credentials, and additional PD as needed. And we have already provided a little boot camp for your new teachers in collaboration with, I call her Marissa, but we're on first name basis now. And we've already started in collaboration with her, and we've completed one boot camp of professional development. We have 2 more, and we're looking forward to the summit where we're going to give them some more professional development. So the career ladder opportunities are for educators who have maintained exemplary or proficient ratings for a minimum of 3 consecutive years. So you have your instructional specialist, your peer review educator, your social and emotional equity advocate, your capacity building and school improvement coach, district policy and governance advisor, and national board completer. All of these people may want to pursue career advancement positions, and they will have the opportunity in doing so as they support as a career ladder advocate or educator. Okay, for the REAP educator coaching responsibilities, we have key responsibilities, and we have 3 areas. We have our virtual instructional coaches who work with REAP, and they work up under me to support your instructional specialists and your peer review evaluators. So your instructional specialist is going to be that educator who is going to go in and do walkthroughs. They're going to model for your teachers. They're going to co-teach, and they're going to gather resources along with the team, which is the virtual instructional coach, the instructional specialist, and the peer review evaluator. The peer review evaluator is going to be that educator who's going to go in and conduct your cognitive observations and your 4.0 rubric observations. These 3 key people will meet bi-weekly to discuss the teachers that they are supporting. They will come up with a plan of action of what they need to gather as far as resources and continue to support that teacher throughout the year.
Click it for yourself. I'm gonna click it for myself. So performance-based compensation is what everybody really shows up to, so that's why I get the fun stuff. So this was a labor of love between both districts, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say Dr. Green left his mark on this one for that summative piece. He pushed back on ensuring that it was equitable for all of the educators from grades 4 to 8. Now, we had to kind of bend on grade 3 and do a 50% across the board summative assessment. But for anybody in grades 4 to 8, essentially there is something called an added value score that we can get from the South Carolina Department of Education, and we have partnered with them to get that data so that we can compare the growth of the student to ensure that we are actually looking at how they've grown versus a pass or a fail. And this is what every educator that signs up for performance-based compensation will be scored by. I would like to go ahead and thank everybody here that has worked diligently to get us the data, from Dr. Avery to Dr. Hemingway to Ms. Davis to Dr. Simpson. They have been instrumental in ensuring that we have a spreadsheet and all the information that we need, and now we'll get the test scores to get everybody paid out soon. But the essential practices are what teachers are already doing: the SC 4.0 rubric, the main, and then the community and school commitment, again, a part of the rubric that they're already scored on. We just took the professionalism piece. And then you have the student survey data that comes off the annual report card. The peer review is from Cognia's observation tool. And then you have the formative piece that is either based on iReady or it's based on STAR testing contingent upon what district it is. And then you have the summative piece that's based on EOC or the SC Ready scores. And down at the bottom, it tells you how people can get the payouts. So if you're unsatisfactory, which is 0 to 200, of course you don't get anything. Same for needs improvement, 201 to 299. But for proficient, they can get $1,250 if they score in a range of 300 and 349. In exemplary, 350 to 400, they can get $2,000. And I'd like to say that we have paid a lot of sign-on bonuses already, because we recognize that Fairfield is a rural district, so that was a draw for a lot of educators. We paid if they signed on, we sent that. And for administrators, they get a sign-on bonus as well. I don't need this thing. I know what's next. So what's next is the payout for the administrators. The administrators can get a sign-on bonus as well of $2,500 if they qualify. Thank you. if they qualify, and these are where they land. For category A, they can get up to $5,000. If they score exemplary, they move their school from a below average to average, average to good, and overall. And then category B, they can get up to $7,500. But of course, you know, it comes with a little extra work. They have to have done the 50% of all the kids being met, and 85% on their added value scoring. And in grades 9 through 12, it's actually based on the graduation rate. So if they can increase their graduation rate at least 3 to 5% from the year prior, then they can get up to $7,500. And Ms. Marlin.
Okay, so I know we've given you guys a lot of information, and we are doing the same to the educators as well. We wanted to make sure that everything was in a centralized location for everybody, so we did go ahead and created an app where educators will have access to our calendars, which are specific to each district. They'll have access to all of the information that we've just given you guys as well. So these apps are, everybody who has opted into the program will have access to the app. We know that with the rollout of any new program, there's going to be a lot of questions coming forth, and so we've created a contact flow for questions to be directed and answered accordingly. So whenever questions are sent out to us from these educators, they know exactly where to go and who should answer those questions. And we have a couple of questions that are frequently asked, and I'll ask Natasha to go over those.
Okay, well, so some questions that are typically asked is participation in the professional development and modules required for those who opt into the incentive program? So the answer is yes. So everybody should participate in the professional development. Do teachers who already work in a high priority school get the $1,500 sign-on bonus, or only for teachers who transfer to one of these schools? And what about the principals who are already in these schools? The answer is yes. The teachers and principals can get the sign-on bonus. It's a one-time sign-on bonus. Is there a way for people to opt in after they have begun? Yes, based on the availability of funds. And I'll just stick in, we did open up the participation agreement again. If anybody wants to participate, they have until, I think, the 23rd. So they still have time for the sign-on bonus. All right. If rated as an exemplary or proficient teacher at my current school, will I need to move to a high-need school? The answer is no. So we're open again, of course, for people to join. And so I always say we want everybody to join. We want everybody. So that's what we're doing now. Are there any other questions?
And it's not on this slide, but we offer micro grants as well. So we recognize, as Dr. Wolf alluded to, that everybody is an educator, not just the people in the classroom. You have your custodians, you have your bus drivers, all those individuals. So we have offered an opportunity for them to apply for a micro grant, and if they're approved, participate, and there's a rubric associated with it, and there's a $1,250 max payout for a micro grant. Thank you.
You call it a grant?
Yes.
Where you said that it applied to custodians, food service? Generally everybody.
Anybody, and even those educators who are PK to 2, who wouldn't necessarily get the performance-based compensation, they can apply as well. There's a rubric for them, and there's a rubric for classified. And we have 120 micro grants. I think 70 have already been filled, so I think we have 50 more out there that are available through the 23rd.
And so, Chair, you said
Yes,
that you're going to have an app available. Will that app be advertised at each school?
When you say you're talking about the app, the communications app that we use? Yeah. So when we send our congratulations email to everybody, we send directions on how to access that app. So once they've opted in to participate in our program or been approved for a micro grant, we send that in their congrats email, and then they can apply for the app there and go through and view it.
Okay, then I should have backed up. How will all of the people realize that they're available or that they are able to apply for your micro grant?
We have shared the information with district level staff, and typically they push it
take
down.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I got a few more questions, so I'll meet with this, you know, because it sounds great. There's no question about it. Just that, so everybody actually, so you said something about the professional development.
Yes, sir.
So do y'all pay for that?
We do.
Okay.
We pay for professional development. All of the PD partners that Dr. Wolf listed, we have contracted with them, and we pay them, and all of the participants just have to sign up. There is a calendar that has been developed by Fairfield County for professional development days in conjunction with Dr. Wolf and the team, and all the educators have to do is show up to the professional developments. We take care of the rest.
Okay.
Yes, Miss Davis, Miss Marissa Davis actually had Miss Adams have our VIX to develop a new educator boot camp so that we can provide professional development to them as well that's targeted for new educators.
So that is worked through y'all grant, or is that been working through Mr. Robinson, our financial person? I'm just trying to kind of get it.
So most of it works through us. Some goes through Mr. Robinson, a small portion. I think it was a technology piece that goes through Mr. Robinson, but
So technology also?
Yes, sir. We provide technology as well. Well, we provide the funding for technology, and we allow for you to get the things necessary for observations for the educators.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. This sounds great.
Y'all come a long way too, right? I got a friend down there in Georgetown. Was it Randy? What's Randy like? Randy Walker. I don't know if y'all know him. Yeah. All right. Okay. I want to get him to him. They need to do that. Since they're going to stay. At this time, ask for a motion to receive the board minutes from our regular call board minutes on July the 16th.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the minutes from the July 16th regular call board meeting, July 16, 2024.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis to accept superintendent recommendation to accept the board minutes for July the 16th, regular call board meeting. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Thank you. At this time, we have our superintendent report, Dr.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If we can look at the screen here, I'll review the superintendent's report. When I last spoke with you all, we talked about the things that we did over the summer as far as our summer retreat. We started the year with our opening convocation, had a wonderful time at convocation. Since convocation, I've received some very positive feedback from our staff about what they heard and saw at convocation, so we're looking forward to meeting with staff to kind of follow up and talk about plans for next year. We also had a great opening on the first day of school. Dr. Swilly was in her pilot gear, and they had a great theme there. Giger Elementary had music and dancing, and all of the schools kind of did something different with welcoming our scholars back to school, so we were very excited about that. And just to give you some district stats, we have currently enrolled 2,118 students, 278 certified staff, 206 classified staff, 1,484 bus riders, and 32 yellow limousines taking our scholars to school.
Awesome.
All right, this summer we also attended the School Boards Association Law Conference and learned a lot of valuable information there. I have follow-up information for us, and I'll meet with the board and kind of share that information with you on some of the things that we heard at the law conference. It's also Griffin season. We have our fall sports that have started. first football game is Friday night. We also have tennis, cheerleading, cross country, and volleyball, as well as our band and Southern Sass that we will be looking forward to enjoying this fall. Also, we would like to welcome some new employees to our family, and they're here with us in the audience. I'll first ask Dr. Candace Green to stand. Dr. Green is our Assistant Director of Special Education, and she's joining us from Richland 1. So we welcome you. We also have Dr. Chastity Evans, and Dr. Evans is our Coordinator of Assessment and Accountability. And Dr. Evans has jumped in and started doing an amazing job working with our principals and providing that data that we received over the summer from spring assessment. So thank you, Dr. Evans. We also have Mrs. Naisha Butler, who's our Instructional Technology Coach, and she's joining us from Richland 2 School District, and so we welcome you to the team as well. And we've talked about our department of our Office of Teaching and Learning, and as our Teaching and Learning Coordinator, we have Dr. Twanisha Foxworth, who is joining us from Richland 2, and then Dr. Gardner, sorry. We will ask that you introduce the team to the board.
Good evening, Superintendent Hemingway, Honorable Board Chair, Miller, and all honorable members of Fairfield County School Board. I am so happy to be a welcome addition to our Fairfield County family. So I do want to stop and introduce our team. We have Ms. Carlene Nance. She has already been a Fairfield County employee. Nadia Paul. Ashley Michelle. And we have one team member who's absent, Ashley Ashford. She had a family event, so she was not able to attend. But we do want to thank you so much for your vote of confidence and giving us a chance. So we're excited to be boots on the ground, working in collaboration with principals, but in concert with teachers to continue the high quality teaching that already exists in our great district. So thank you so much. We're excited to be here.
And then, Dr. Avery, if you will please stand. So the last thing on the superintendent's report that I want to share is an effort that was led by Dr. Avery for the district, and that's our Cognia effort, and we are Cognia accredited in our district. So thank you, Dr. Avery. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. And it is a pleasure to meet all our new, and I call you new because you're new to Fairfield County. You may be from Richland 2, and Richland 1, Fort Mills, Rock Hill, but only one, the one in the pink. She stood out. So glad to have all of y'all, but our academic coaches, right? That's right? I wanted to make sure we got it right. And welcome to Fairfield County. At this time, we're going to move to Dr. Campbell, Operation and Student Services.
Good evening, Chair Miller, Vice Chair Harrison, Superintendent Hemingway, and other board members. You have before you tonight in your packet board policies that we will be asking you to approve for first read. We are about to undergo the process of updating many of our board policies, and so this will be the first of many that will be presented to you. The first policy tonight for your review is policy BEDH, which is the policy that outlines public participation at meetings. I will entertain any questions about any of the revisions that have been proposed.
Let's put a motion on the floor, and then we can ask the question.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve first reading revision to board policy BEDH, public participation in meetings and board policy JICDA, code of
Second such motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris. Accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the first reading revision of the board policy BEDH, public participation at meetings, and board policy JICDA, code of conduct. Right? Now we can, the motion is on the floor. Now we can ask some questions. I got a question, Doctor. Can we, no, you go right ahead.
No, I
can
was
wait.
just making a statement. I know we upgraded the, policy to be in standards with the state, what they proposing, and I think that's a great idea because I read over it, and it needed to be in coincide with the state, what they're proposing.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you know that in reading this right here, now, what you got scratched out,
Yes, sir.
kind of explain that to us, please.
Okay. So you will see proposed language that is in red. Anything that you see in red is an update or new language that did not exist in our current policy. Anything that you see as a strike through exists currently in the policy as it has been approved. The strike through means that we will be removing that language and subsequently replacing it with the language that you see in red. And as Vice Chair Harrison mentioned, many of our updates are proposed by School Boards Association. Some of them, if they have legal ramifications, have been reviewed by our legal team and advisement from them, and those are the proposed changes that you see.
Any questions on that? Okay. We can, let me get back to this right here because there we go. Motion was made to accept the superintendent recommendation. The board approved the first reading revision board policy BEDH, public participation at meeting, and board policy JICDA, code of conduct. We've all had a chance to ask questions, and now we're gonna, all in favor of this superintendent recommendation, show by the raising of the right hand. First reading. That would be 7.
Thank you.
Thank you. As it's time, we would have curriculum and instruction. Dr. Avery.
For your approval are the 2024-2025 instructional materials, textbooks for district selection, and these are recommendations for adoption. In your board docs, you will find the list of the final selections that were presented and submitted to the district textbook coordinator, and these instructional materials are for chemistry 1 and 2, advanced placement chemistry, physics 1 and 2, advanced placement physics 1, 2, along with electricity and magnetism and mechanics, and advanced placement world history. The recommended action, the superintendent recommends the board approve the instructional materials, textbooks, district selection recommendation for adoption for the 2024-2025 school year.
It's time. Can we get a motion, please?
So Chair,
Yes.
I make a motion that we accept the superintendent's instructional materials or recommendation for instructional materials, textbooks for district selection recommendations for adoption for the 2024-2025 school year.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Green. Second by Mr. Pastor Jackson to accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the instruction material textbooks, district selection recommendation for adoption of the 24-25 school year. We have any questions? All in favor show by the raising of the right hand.
All right, thank you.
At this time, Mr. Robinson.
Good evening to our board chair, board of trustees, Superintendent Hemingway. This evening under finance, we have the finance report for the month of July for board review. This is the first month of the fiscal year, so we do not have a lot of activity, but everything is in order and good start to the year so far.
Got a question? Mr. Robinson, you was telling us that when will that final everything come in for us from last year? Final.
In terms of closing out
Yes, sir.
last year,
Yes, sir.
we're still working on that. There's still some things that we get from the county even this late in the year that
Yes, sir.
apply to last year.
Yes, sir.
And then our auditors come in October, review everything. So generally, I would say around the end of October, first part of November, we can close everything out and give a final number.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. This time, Ms. Robinson, Human Resource.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Under HR this evening, we have the following items for your approval. Item 1, certified resignations and terminations. Recommended action. The superintendent recommends the board approve professional certified educator resignations and terminations as outlined in Exhibit 1A.
We get a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the professional certified educator resignation and termination, Exhibit 1.
I second.
We're gonna go, Ms. Davis. Okay. Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis to accept the superintendent recommendation for board approval of the professional certified educator resignation and termination, Exhibit 1. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Go right ahead.
Next, we have item 2, certified recommendations. Recommended action. The superintendent recommends the board approve professional certified educators for the 24-25 academic year as presented in Exhibit 2A and Exhibit 2B.
Can we get a motion?
Chairman Miller.
Yes,
I'd like
sir.
to make a motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation that the board approves the professional certified educators for the 2024-25 academic year in Exhibit 2A and 2B. Provided I get a second.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Davis, second by Ms. Green, to accept the superintendent professional certified educator for the 24-25 academic school year, 2A and 2B. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. At this time, we're gonna have, thank you, Ms. Robinson. And we have the board chair report. It just, as Dr. Hemingway said, we got some games going on this week. I think last week before last, I had a chance to go around to visit some of the schools. Ms. Harris and I had a chance to go into some of the schools, just not to spy on anybody. We just looking around, you know. So you see us coming. You see us coming. We're not coming to, you know. So don't, you know. Oh, board member. No, we come in just to, you know, give you our support. So you see me out there in the school. It's all about support, you know, and that's a new word, you know. And I like what Dr. Hemingway said. We all support the schools. That's, you know, we support we're here for support. If I could, you know, I ain't too. I can do some things. I don't know about the educated thing, but I can push a broom. You know, I can do some stuff. And so I just want you to know it takes all of us,
Yes.
you know, and it means a lot, you know. And we may be a small piece of leather, y'all, but we well put together. We are Fairfield family. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So, I've been married to my wife 43 years. Lord bless her. Miss Harrison. And you know the thing with that is that we don't always agree because she has a, you know, she's, but I still love that woman though. I'm on TV now. I'm gonna make sure I say that right because she might be looking. I don't get myself in no trouble. But you know, as it's nothing wrong with having a agree to disagree sometimes. You know, that's how you get you pull the best out of you. And so sometimes we look at things. We don't always agree on the board, but we agree. But we talk it out. You know, we're gonna work it out. That's what we're gonna do. Ms. Harrison, you got something?
I do, and normally I don't do the personal stuff. I do more educational stuff and about the children. But Dr. Avery said a little birdie told her something. So yes, in 12 days I will be getting married.
Okay.
And my last name would be Harrison Williams. So it wasn't a secret. It's just that I don't do personal things at the board meeting. But we are family, and I'll share that with y'all.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You know, you're on your way. You change names on me. I've been knowing you ever since. I've been knowing Miss Harrison ever since she was a little girl. That's a long time. Yeah.
My dad called and asked, have we skipped out on it or ran away or something? He said, and I heard him through the phone. He said, I know my daughter. That wasn't nice.
Anyway, you know, those board members have something.
Yes.
Ms. Green?
I'd just like to thank Dr. Swilly for welcoming me and allowing me to participate with her voter registration program or drive that she's going to be having tomorrow. And I do appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah. Mr. Davis?
Chairman Miller, I'd just like to let everyone know that this past July the 20th, I guess we would say we received our 5th grandchild, which was a little boy. So we're really thankful for that and blessed to have him in our lives. And you know, we're going to just continue to do what we normally do.
Again, I thank you all, and I am really wanting to get into the nuts and bolts of this. What was that?
Joyce,
Yeah.
the REAP.
Yeah, I want to really get into the bolts of that. That sounds real interesting. Yeah, and that you know, everybody can be a part of it, and everybody can grow.
Yes.
You know, it's all about growing Fairfield County, and it's here. Take it, and lift yourself up. This time we Dr. Hemming, you have anything else? This time, can we get a motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we adjourn.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis. To adjourn. All in favor, show by the raising of the right hand. That be 7-0. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Yeah, I was actually, I didn't know that.